public hearing. Are there any requests for postponements or judicial issues anybody needs to raise? Jurisdiction issues. Didn't we have one case postponed?
That's this case. And so instead of opening the public hearing, since there was an error in the notice, you would make a motion for this to be renoticed and rescheduled to a future meeting.
Madam Chair, I move that we renotice item 2026-133-BOA to be heard at the next available Board of Adjustment meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Vote on the It's a habit.
Motion is approved. The public hearing is now open. City staff presented and described the nature of the case at the work session and advised the board of any communications received. Does the board have any further questions from staff regarding this case? The first case is Board of Adjustment Special Exception Case 2026136 BOA. John and Jeannie Strickland, owners. John Strickland, applicant. Located at 2011 Brad Street, approximately .217 acres. Zip code 75061. Zoned R6, single family, residential 6 district. Do we have any further questions of staff? Will the applicant please, did you wish to address?
I would love to.
Would you please come up to the microphone? State your name and city, please. You need to confirm if you are the owner or the agent.
My name is John Strickland, Irving, Texas. I'm the owner. I've lived here in Irving now for 31 years. Worked at the hospital for 25 of those 31 years as a nurse in the cardiac cath lab. I am a big volunteer at the Elks Lodge. My family has owned that house. My wife's family was raised in that house. Has a strong significance to our family and to what we do there. There's some confusion about, perceived confusion on my part, about egress to a garage in the back of the house. There is a driveway beside my house that does go to the back of the house, where in 1954 a wooden structure was built as a one-car garage. Cars evidently were a lot smaller back then. That structure was dilapidated and it needed to be removed. And instead of putting a garage back there, we put a shop back there, and I do part of my handiwork is out of that garage. We did all of the work on this house. The driveway that goes to the back of the house has a, lack of a better way of saying it, it's a juke in it. And the house, because of that juke and trying to get the cars lined up to get into the drive, always receives damage. The cars get damaged and the house gets damaged. So we have just completely disregarded being able to drive back there. For the longest time, we didn't have a fence up back there because we used the backyard as a place to put our cars because we couldn't get to the garage. We have since improved all of that, put a fence up, nice sliding gates. We have an iron gate up front, and we've created a backyard oasis. Nice cooking areas, beautiful landscaping. We have planter boxes with our herb gardens in them. and it has really disallowed us egress on that driveway to the backyard. But it's because we kept hitting the house. So we're just not going to go back there. It just doesn't work. And then the neighbor next door to me put a fence up, and it tightened the space even more, where I couldn't even drive my truck. I had a Dodge truck with not big mirrors on it, but it had trailer mirrors on it. I couldn't go down the alleyway for my house. So we took out some of our driveway, some of our grass out of the front yard, and we widened the driveway in the front yard. Well, we widened it underneath an oak tree that my wife's grandmother grew from an acorn, and they're bur oaks, and they're big as my hand. And when they fall and hit the car, they dent the car like it's got hail damage on it. We have new vehicles, and we take a lot of pride in our stuff, and we don't want those cars damaged. So for Christmas, the oak tree was abundantly full this last year. So in November, I said to my wife, let's put a carport up. She said, can you do it for Christmas? I said, I'll try. So there's where my problem came in. Was I did it without getting any approvals. I saw others in the neighborhood. I saw one just exactly like mine in the neighborhood, and I thought, we should be able to put this up. So I bought it. I hired a guy. He put it up to where it'll stand there forever and ever and ever. It's got 40 bags of concrete in the footers of that thing, and it's buried 3 feet deep into the ground. And according to the brochure, it'll withstand 70-mile-an-hour winds. It'll do all the good things. But long story short, that's where I messed up.
Sir, you have 1 minute left.
Thank you. We do not have egress to a garage in the back from the front of that house. And we are completely unimproved in the backyard, in the back alley, with 6 months out of the year, 9 months out of the year, standing water in that alley that we just cannot drive through. There's a spring back there. It's not chlorinated water. I've had the city come out and look at it. You can look at everything. It would be next to impossible for my in-laws to be able to come over to the house without pulling up underneath that carport for protection while they get their canes and walkers out and come into my house, into their old house, where we take care of them at least once or twice a week. I would appreciate it if you guys would take this all into consideration.
Sir, your time has expired.
Do any of the board have any questions?
I have a question, but I don't know if it's for staff or for the attorney. If this is a case of reasonable accommodation, do we need to find any additional, does the applicant need to prove that in a separate request, or is this?
Yes, it would need to be, requested to have a reasonable accommodation, but those are typically for the actual occupant of the structure and not visitors to the structure. But you have the list of 7 requirements. Mm-hmm. And so it's up to you all, based on the information you've heard, or once you've finished answering your questions, to determine whether they're all met or not.
Are there any other questions?
I do have a question for the applicant. So, are you aware of the things that you would need to do to comply?
I was not aware of the board thinking there was an egress to the back of the house, a good egress to the back of the house. I didn't know that I needed to show those pictures. There is a picture that's posted in there that you can see. There's an RV park there that fills up that space. You can see that it is a very, very tight space there with the neighbor's fence. It is not comfortable to drive up 50, 60 feet with your car. You're going to rub mirrors on it. You're going to do things on it. It's just not comfortable at all. And I would have to tear out a planter box, and I would have to build a garage door on my shop and move my saws and all of my equipment out in order to have a garage back there. There's just no egress to my backyard from the front yard. It's just not reasonable.
Are there any other questions from the,
I have a question. So the garage that was there, you said it was a one-car, has been converted into the shop.
So there was a one-car garage that was there that was built in 1954, and the tree that had grown up beside it had grown so big that it was pushing it over, and it was termite infested or ant infested, whatever the animals were that ate so it needed to be torn down. It was torn down in '07. That was after we built the shop that was there directly adjacent to it.
Okay, so the shop is not a converted garage. The shop
It is
its
not a
own-
converted garage. It's a new
There is
building.
currently no garage.
There is currently no garage in the backyard. There's no covered parking anywhere on our property. And we have beautiful trees, and they're not going anywhere.
I have a question, but I don't know if it's going to be for legal or staff. Does the City of Irving code require parking spaces be behind the front building line?
I don't know that. Oh, here you go. Yes, ma'am.
It depends on the age of construction. So houses built before 2008 just had to have, like, in the 50s, had to have one car. Before 2008, had to have two cars, but it could be in the driveway or wherever. And then after 2008, had to be in a garage and two in the garage, two in the driveway. So the answer is, it doesn't say behind the front building wall. And again, it depends on, this is an older house, so it just had to have one or two at the most.
Can I ask legal a question? Can I ask the applicant a question about hardship? No? I wanted to know, so if the board rejects your application and then you have to redo it to comply with section 1.15, would that be,
Yeah. It would be an extreme hardship, yeah. It really would be. Would I do it? I would make it, this is my home. I'm going to do what you guys say, but I really would petition not to have to do that. We don't have any covered parking at my house at all. I mean, none. We have beautiful trees. One of them is a pecan tree. It all sounds sentimental, but it was planted by her great-grandfather. The oak tree in the front yard that rains those doggone bur oak acorns down was literally grown from her grandmother in a pot. We put it there when it was big as my finger 30 years ago. It's a beautiful tree.
do you have plans to add another carport?
No, I do not. No, none whatsoever. I just wanted I wanted to be able to keep that tree and protect our car. That's all I wanted to be able to do. And you can see you can barely see that carport when you're looking at the property. It melds very well. If you look at some of the pictures that were taken.
are there any other speakers that wish to address this?
My name is Carol Cook, Irving, Texas. My house is behind his house, and when I drove by and saw his little carport, it's not even a carport, it's a little curved, looks like, I don't know what you would call it. I had to stop and go up to his door and say, "Where did you get that?" Because it wasn't any larger than his vehicle. I mean, matter of fact, I think the very front bumper of his car might even stick out a little bit. And it is concreted in the ground, concrete up, and then the metal posts, I think there's two metal posts that go up, and then it's a beautiful architectural little half moon sort of thing. And when you're driving down the street, you see the car, you don't even see that. It's just not anything that you notice. It's not obnoxious. It's not ugly by any means. It's not blocking any views on the street. It's on his yard side, not on his neighbor's side, so he's not impeding on his immediate neighbors that are closest to him. He's actually cutting into the front of his yard just a touch, or it's right on the edge of his driveway that he poured. It's actually very attractive for its purpose. And as far as parking in our neighborhood, we're probably the only ones that actually use our driveway. Everybody else is on the street because they don't want to move cars in these multi-car families. They want their life to be not inconvenienced, so everybody's on the street and one car's in a driveway. That could probably fit 3 cars. He doesn't park on the street. He has plenty of room in his driveway. I have plenty of room in my driveway. But it just doesn't really make sense. Maybe he screwed up. He admits it. But to have him tear it down, he would have to tear up concrete. And like I said, you notice his car. You do not notice this little canopy thing over the top of his car, and it doesn't really even cover the whole width of his car. So it was just, I can't see, with all the things that are wrong in my neighborhood lately, that is not one of them. So I'm totally in support of him keeping it. It is not an eyesore. It does not block anything. It is quite attractive, and he spent a lot of money on it. And to have him tear it down, and really there's no other place to put it, so what's he going to do with it then? Put it at the curb and have y'all come pick it up? I don't know. But I think it needs to be an exception made, and then his hand needs to be spanked. Thank you.
Is there anyone that wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, do we have any additional comments or questions by the board?
Madam Chair, if I may just remind the board, this isn't a variance, it's a special exception, and so they do have different standards that we went over in a prior meeting. And the thing to focus on would be in your packet, would be PDF page 37, where the 7 criteria are listed. And those are the criteria where you each need to decide for yourselves whether you agree with what complies and what doesn't comply in order to make your decision.
Is there anyone that wishes to make a motion?
Madam Chair, I'm not ready to make a motion. I still have a couple of,
Okay.
I'm having trouble with this one. I will state that. My question, and legal, I'm not sure if this is the right spot to put it. According to the UDC, a carport is supposed to have a gutter system. This is not a real carport in that sense. It's not a full over-the-top structure. So, oh, it does? Because I can't tell. Okay, well, I was going to ask about a gutter system. Thank you, sir. Okay.
Thank you. The carport does have a gutter system on it. And the thing that I've noticed that, acknowledging what you're saying here, the thing that I've noticed about this hearing is the problem, the one criteria that I didn't meet says that I have a one-car garage in the back of my house with a driveway that goes to it. That is a misconception. That's a misunderstanding on the part of this court. And I would really like that to be placed on the record. There is no egress from the front of the house to the back of the house to any kind of covered parking whatsoever. And there is unimproved alleyway in the back of the house that I can get egress when I'm not slogging through the mud.
And you also mentioned that the driveway that goes to the back of your property really is not.
You would be scared to make the corner on a dark night if there weren't lights on
Right.
around.
Okay,
You'd be
thank
afraid
you.
to make the corner. You'd scratch your car. Thank you.
Any other comments, or are we ready for a motion?
I'd like to motion for a vote.
Please identify your motion. Motion in favor or against, or?
So I have to say if it's a motion in favor? Okay, so I submit for a motion in favor. But then that makes it sound like I'm gonna vote for it in favor.
You do not have to vote for your own motion, and you don't have
Okay,
to vote in
okay.
favor of your own motion. So really, a motion to approve or a motion to deny.
Should just be a motion to vote, but okay, a motion to approve then.
Clarification, you're voting to approve the special exception, not,
If that's the wording that I have to use, then that's the wording that I'm using. I would say a motion to vote, and then we all determine if it's approve or disapprove. But since we have to say a motion to approve or a motion to disapprove, then that's confusing to me. But it seems like to me we should motion to vote, and then we all make our own decisions.
well, I just.
Okay,
well,
you're
that's-
calling for the question. All right.
I'm
Yes, I
calling for a- I'm
misunderstood.
calling for a
I thought he was trying
motion.
to make it.
I'm calling for a vote. That's what I'm calling
Okay,
for.
A
that's
vote.
calling for the question.
Yes, calling the question.
You're calling the
He
question.
wants discussion to be over and
Okay,
vote, a motion made.
all right. So we need a motion.
I'll make it.
A motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I would second that.
And
Okay,
pardon me
let's
for
vote.
saying, but does Robert say at that point that you should go ahead and go for discussion at that point, if there's any further discussion? Isn't that a Robert's rule?
They have not adopted Robert's Rules of Order.
Okay.
Okay, so my buttons are blinking. Are we supposed to be voting on the button? Okay.
Okay, good.
It disappeared.
Hmm?
The voting disappeared.
The motion does not pass.
It takes 4 out of 5 in favor.
What does that mean?
That means the special exception was not approved because the vote was 3-2, when it's required to be 4-1 at least in order to pass.
This is a point of order. Is there any appeals process? Is there any appeals process?
This is the appeals process. We are the appeal board.
I understand.
There is an ability to file an appeal within 10 days in the district court of the county.
Okay, and do I need to have a lawyer? Do I need to do something? Where is the district court? Is it downtown Dallas?
I know there are some district courts in downtown Dallas. I don't know if that's where they all are, to be honest. If you look online, you'll be able to find the court's clerk. I don't believe you're required to have a lawyer. It would probably make the process easier for you, because they may know better what to do and how to navigate that.
I appreciate y'all's time and energy on this.
I have a process question. Is there a no reconsideration process within the city?
It goes to the court.
Well,
Reconsideration by
before-
the board?
before you go to your next item, if someone wants to make a motion for the item to be reconsidered, you can vote on that.
No, I was thinking more a formal application process by the applicant for reconsideration at the next available meeting.
No, I
We don't have
think
that? Oh,
But you said we could vote again?
Reconsideration.
Right, someone can make that motion if they want to.
I would like to make a motion to reconsider.
I'd second that.
All those in favor?
Okay, so that motion does pass because it's only a simple majority for that motion to pass. So now if someone wants to make another motion on the item itself, they may.
Does someone make a motion to accept or to approve or to disapprove? We need that motion to get on the floor so we can vote.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the special exception, noting that item number 6 of the 7 required items does comply, and therefore the special exception is warranted.
Well placed.
And I would like to add to that the hardship that it would place on the applicant to redo it, as well as what the other neighbor said about it's not really doing anything negative, but it's adding to the neighborhood in the sense that it's a functional necessity for him and his family. So I don't see, in my opinion, the point of disapproving it when it's not going against anything dramatic, in my opinion.
Legal, do I need to add that, or is that a variance item and not a special exception item?
That's really discussion, not part of a motion, yeah. But I don't believe there's a second yet.
I'll second the motion to approve.
Are we ready for a vote? The motion does not pass. We'll move to the next case.
Thank you. Thanks for your consideration. Thank you, Robert. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Board of Adjustments variance case 2026-145 BOA. Alea, Mario Luna and Alea Meroras, owners, applicant, located at 2626 DeWitt Street, approximately 1.16 acres, zip code 75062, zoned R6, single family. We've already heard from staff the information regarding this particular case. Is there anyone here that wishes to address it? Does anybody have any additional questions that they have of staff, since we have no one to address it? Are we ready for a motion?
Still open the public hearing and close it, even though there's no one here.
I'm sorry?
We still need to open the public hearing and then close the public hearing since there's no one to speak.
So open and close on each item?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're opening the discussion regarding that case. There's no one here to address it. Are there any questions by the panel? Are we ready for a motion to approve or disapprove?
Madam Chair, with the closing of the public hearing, I move that we deny item 2026-145-BOA.
Is there a second?
I had a question. What did the denial mean? What would denial mean?
That would mean they would need to remove the covered part of the patio.
Oh.
They're allowed to maintain the concrete pad, yes. The concrete part on the ground could stay. It'd be the cover that would need to be removed from the setback.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Are we ready to vote?
Are we voting for it to pass or fail?
You're
voting to deny.
So if you
The
vote,
variance.
if you vote yes, they will need to remove it.
Oh.
Can you repeat that?
When you have a motion to deny the request, a vote of yes would mean that motion passes and they would need to remove the covered patio from the setback area.
Okay, calling for the vote. The motion fails.
Does that mean yes or no?
Right now, it means nothing.
The motion
They,
passed, meaning that they did not get approval of the what variance.
I thought yes meant.
yeah, but it was 3 to
Oh,
2.
it needs to be 4?
Correct. Oh, yes, yes. In order to approve it for it to stay, you would need a 4-to-1 vote. But your motion was to deny.
Correct.
Yes.
Is there any more business? business to be brought before.
Yeah, I guess I'd like to do something like we did the previous one, where we have, a revote. And really, the board, I think, needs to consider the structure itself, the fact that it is in the backyard. It's not encroaching on the 6-foot easement, and just the size. Yeah, of course, all of it was done, but that's not what we're here to do. We're here to vote yay or nay on the variance. So I think on the exception, special exception. So I think we need to, make sure that we consider all of that, and and ask for a revote like we did the previous one.
So you're making a motion for?
I'm going to make a motion to approve the special exception.
Just a second, we have to have the vote to whether or not to reconsider.
Oh, okay.
So that's your motion?
That's my motion, is to vote to.
Vote again.
To vote again.
Okay, is there a second?
I second that motion.
All those in favor?
If we put, if we put yes, that means we can vote again. Yes. Oh.
The motion passes, so now we're calling for another motion. Does anybody wish to make another motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the special exception.
Is there a second?
I second that motion.
Let's call, any further discussion?
Yes, Madam Chair, I have a question for the maker of the motion. Are you stating that on page, well, let's see, PDF page 67, I don't know what page staff number-wise this is, that all items 7A, B, C, D, and E are meet requirements and yeah, it's PDF page 67. It looks to be page 2 of the staff report for this item.
Does staff need to add?
I was just going to add, this is actually a hardship. This is not a special exception. So this has that different measure of whether there's a physical reason that they need to have it in this location. So the special exception you had before, it was required that it met all of those considerations. The hardship measure is different. So those are in your report. So they don't have to meet all of those items. You just have to determine, is there a physical hardship as to why they need to have this structure in this location?
And I believe in the write-up, they mentioned some disabled children that would utilize that area as well. So I think that's maybe where the hardship comes in. I don't know, but anyway, that's the thing for the board to also consider.
So the disabled people are the children, right? Do they live there or they are visiting?
My understanding is that they live there.
Can we confirm that?
I'm, where did you see that?
It's in the documentation.
Do you know where? I don't remember seeing it, so that's why I'm just asking.
It's on page 73 here,
Yeah, where they,
on the letter of intent.
Okay. Let me scroll down there. 74. So since they did state that it is disabled children, are they required with the hardship to have reasonable accommodation request with the hardship?
Does the city have a separate process for requesting accommodations for
No,
disabilities?
We added disability as consideration with the carport discussion. The reasonable accommodation would be through probably typically the SP process through council. But that the variance measure would be more of a physical,
Yeah.
is it a physical hardship?
Yeah, so the criteria on page 67 don't take into account disability, but what I'm understanding from staff is there would be an alternative procedure to get a reasonable accommodation for a disability.
Thank you, that clarifies.
Is there a motion?
I just wanted to know, how does a covered carport assist a disability? No, yeah, covered whatever in the back.
Patio.
Mhm. How does,
Well, we don't know because it didn't say in the application and they weren't here to provide that information to you.
I'm calling for the motion, please.
I call for a motion to approve the, whatever this is. It's not a special expect, is it a variance?
Variances.
Okay, the variance, yes.
which would be now, if we prove it that.
His motion is for the structure to remain. So if you vote yes, you would be agreeing with that.
I need a second first.
Yes, you do.
Is there a second to the motion? The motion dies for lack of a second.
I second the motion. I second the motion.
Now we need a new motion because it was already declared that the first motion was dead.
I would like to make a motion to vote again.
That motion's been made, so we need a motion on whether to approve the variance or deny the variance.
I would like to make a motion to approve the variance.
I second that.
We now have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? I call for the vote. The motion has passed. Oh, my apologies. It has not. The motion did not pass. The vote is 3-2. There's no further business for our group, so I declare the meeting adjourned.